What's up, guys? Hopefully you are all having an awesome day. So, I was doing an interesting video yesterday. I was talking about, as I said, I know what people think of me, but at the end of the day, people hard chat shit to me when they're the ones, that are basically, supporting child exploitation and supporting his parents for basically monetizing every single part of his lives and, using that for content. This is the major problem. Like, it's bad enough that these parents are exploiting their kids, and monetizing every single part and every single aspect of his lives. But the fact that people are defending them over that makes things a lot worse. It makes the gravity of the situation a whole lot worse. At the end of the day, it's just like, these parents shouldn't be allowed to keep getting away with the way that they're exploiting their kids and monetizing so much of their kids' lives. But they will keep getting away with that because people keep defending them time and time and time and time again. And keep saying that they're not doing anything wrong. And that is what causes a lot of the problems, is the fact that people are constantly defending his parents and saying they're not doing that wrong. And actually, they are. Like, it's hard to deny that. It is hard to deny that. It's not like anyone can really say, well, they are doing anything wrong or they're not doing anything wrong. It's just a massive problem here. It's like, how do people agree with the fact that these kids are having so much of their lives, exploited and monetized by their parents? It's like, no child should ever have to put up with that or ever have to deal with that. It's just frustrating that, that's what they have to put up with. And it's just, it's not fair on them. They shouldn't have to put up with that. Especially when they're only young, especially, it's like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it just pisses me off, the fact that, people are defending these family vloggers. It's like, I might be a lot of things, but at least I'm not one of these people who is basically enabling, these parents to exploit their kids and basically profit and basically monetize their kids' lives. They won't monetize every single part of their kids' lives. This is what a lot of these people don't stop to think about. Obviously, it's also well and good them wanting to support these family vloggers and defend them time and time again, but they don't stop to think about the fact that they are actually enabling these people to do what they're doing. They're basically enabling these people to exploit their kids and monetize their kids' lives. Which is why people disagree with the fact that, people defend these the people are willing to defend these family vloggers, because the people that defend these family vloggers are basically enabling these parents defending these parents, or enabling these parents to do what they do. And they're basically enabling them to exploit their kids the way they do, and to make money, to basically monetize their kids' lives in the way that they do. And it's absolutely disgusting. As I said, no child should ever have to put up. But sadly, that's something that so many kids are having to put up with these days. The fact that these family vloggers do that is bad enough, but the fact that the people are actually willing to defend them makes things 10 times worse. Because no one in there, as I've said many times before, nobody in their right mind would ever defend these family vloggers You know, there's no good reason to want to defend to defend these family vloggers or, you know, defend what they do. It's like people are so quick to say, oh, they're not exploiting it here, to this, that, and the other. It's like, do they even really understand what child exploitation is? And I doubt any of them do. I doubt any of them do actually understand what child exploitation is in the slightest. You know, they're also quick to defend it, but do they actually understand what it is? I think that's a big question that really does need to be asked, is do they actually understand what child exploitation is? Because I don't think any of them do. You know, I went mad yesterday as I was looking through the comments on one of Jonathan Joly's videos, and someone had posted a comment saying, oh, you know, that they don't deserve the hate they get, and, you know, it's like, oh, you know, why are people hating on Jonathan? You know, the reason I get so wound up is because it feels like people seem to think that other people are just hating on Jonathan because of the fact that he's trans. I mean, yeah, that does have that does have a part to play in it. But ED being trans is not the main reason that people hate on Jonathan in particular. You know, and I've said in previous videos, I've given pretty good reasons for why people dislike Jonathan, because a lot of the things that he does, can be described as being really quite disgusting and inappropriate and quite disturbing at times. You know, the way that he's putting his hits out there on the internet. That's the reason that he gets so much backlash, is because of the way that he puts his hits out there on the internet. Like, that's what people don't agree with. You know, it's not necessarily the fact that people don't agree with the fact that Edie's trans. You know, it's more to do with the fact that people don't agree with the way that Jonathan, as a father, is putting his children out there on the internet, because it feels like he's always putting his children out there on the internet in a very sort of disgusting way, and a very kind of inappropriate way, and it's like he knows exactly what he's doing, and of course he knows that people will defend him over the things that he does. You know, the same argument can very well be made with the Inhams, in that the reason that they do a lot of the things they do is because they know that people will defend them for it time and time again. They know that people will stick up for them and will support them no matter what they do. You know, they could, throw their kids off a 500-foot bridge, and, you know, people would still, the iPhone would still defend them and say they'd done nothing wrong. You know, this is the one question that I do have a lot of the iPhone, is if there is actually anything that they won't actually defend the Inhams for. Like, what if the Inham showed that he's naked showed that he's full on naked in a vlog, and put that out there on YouTube, would the Inhams defend them over that? Well, the iPhone probably would defend them over that, to be honest, as the iPhone would probably turn around and say, oh, it's just a mistake, and he didn't mean to show that. You know, because that's what they do. But it's just one of those situations. I'm just done with it. You know, I'm done with people defending these family vloggers, pure and simple. And that's a point that had to be made. It's as simple as that. End of.